I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat in tandem to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Seriously, folks? If you fracture the ego of these people and say something they don't like, maybe even possibly they can even lie and say you misgendered them just because you said something they didn't like, something else they didn't like, and fracture their ego. And somebody's bright idea to find somebody excessive amount of money and or have you thrown in a cage? Really? That sounds more to me like dictatorship and tyranny and social bullying to me. Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. Since I saw a lot of high-ranking YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, both black and white, talking about this, I'm gonna say my piece on it, because even though there's some pretty high-ranking YouTubers on there, and also a lot of the black YouTubers who I subscribe to out of spite, just to piss off the white leftists, I'll stick that in there since it's being talked about. I still don't know if it's for real, but you wouldn't put it past these people. Anyway, yeah, the state of Michigan. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I don't know whether to laugh or be concerned, but it's kind of creepy, the laws people are getting away with making now. I'm actually laughing in a way because I'm wondering if it's for real, and I'm also laughing how egotistic and narcissistic that anybody would actually make such laws. Oh, if you misgender somebody, what, $10,000 fine? Is that amount being exaggerated, or is it going around there being exaggerated? And potential go to jail. But anyway, I wouldn't put it past some of these people, their narcissistic egos, if you don't worship at their feet. And like I say, I still remind people, yeah, these people can do what they want to do. Identify as whatever the fuck they feel like it. I don't give a shit. It don't affect me or my life. I have my life. They have theirs. Oh, and they want to make that illegal too. Maybe I'm being overly sarcastic. Not like saying being a conspiracy theorist or anything. Oh, another thing too, I don't want to, like some YouTubers are saying, I don't want to copy too much off them by saying I digress or whatever, go on and on about this, but
being sarcastic, I wouldn't put it past them to make that illegal, or walk around with too much of a cocky look on your face and too much self-esteem and see that you don't worship, if just for not worshiping in their feet, or worshiping for not worshiping at their feet, excuse me. That's what these people want. And whether this is for real or not, I will tell you one thing. A lot of us, no matter who you are watching this, might have been, back when you're in school, called all kind of names. And matter of fact, back when I was in high school and even in some workplaces when I'm older, some of us were called the name that rhymes with maggot, that I don't want to say on here, because now if you actually say the word, I think your video can actually be, what do you call it, silenced or shadow banned for using the word. But even yeah, you were called that word you were called that word that rhymes with maggot, just for not wanting, just for being a straight person, and you were called it by other straight people back in school, right? Just for not wanting to take part in and participate in bragging about all the girls or chicks you want to have sex with. If you decide, maybe for religious purposes or moral purposes, to conscientiously object to being a pervert, which, yeah, it was very popular to be a pervert. You were either a nerd, you were either called, if you didn't brag about how many people you wanted to have sex with or whatever the heck. And this was before the internet ever came along, and before this gender shit got this big. You know the point I'm trying to make here? So my point is to that is, we were called all kind of names. People other than transgenders and gay people were called that word that was rhymed with maggot, right? We were called all kind of names too. Did we ever fantasize about having somebody fined a large amount of money, or having them arrested and thrown in a cage over it? No. Some of us are doing pretty well financially and all kind of other ways for ourselves, and we look back at this shit and laugh. But now, I mean, like I said, my motto is do what you want to do, but as long as you don't do anything like threaten the life of somebody just because of whatever they identify as. And my saying is too, is anybody that's an ass wants to identify as something else and be an asshole about it. My thing is also, I'm not going there with you. I still don't believe in doing anything that's against the law, no threatening of life or anything. But these people ain't satisfied. So I'm saying, whether is this for real? Was it a real law, or did they propose it and did it get exaggerated? I'm just leaving that all open so I don't get called a conspiracy theorist. And also, I'm throwing in there too, you're not a conspiracy theorist talking about it if somebody out there is actually admitting that they have the desire to make such laws and that they support such things. I mean, if you address certain people, a certain demographic of a kind of people who admit to condoning a particular thing, that they want to make it real, then that's not conspiracy. Some people don't know the difference between crazy conspiracy theory, and they don't know the difference between that and commenting on something with a cocky look on their face, you know, which is last thing I seen is a free country. And a lot of these people who identify as this or that, I'm not saying all of them are like that. Oh, they don't want a free country. They want a dictatorship dictated by people like them. And it's like revenge politics. If any of this even is being proposed, whether it's for real or not, in Michigan, shame on the politicians. And a big double this to them. A law like this, excessive. If you got this far in this video, if this shit is for real, narcissism on the part of politicians, or whether they're being bribed, and excessive a fine for something like that, it tells you they're hungry for ego. I mean hungry for revenue, excuse me. Yeah, that word ego in there again. Yeah, it's about their ego, and they're hungry for revenue. To excessively fine, what, $10,000 just for what? I mean, even if you did want to be an asshole and do a drive-by misgendering, you know, and yell something, which I don't recommend. I personally think it's a waste of my time and my life to do shit like that. But to excessively fine somebody $10,000, throw them in a cabin, throw them in a cage, that's about being hungry for revenue and revenge politics, and the desire to control and have somebody thrown in a cage. It has that shit written all over it. Yeah, what can I say more about it? I mean, it's just yeah, more bullshit. It's basically a demographic of people who wants to become a dictatorship. And if any such law is for real, or even if it's not real and it's being proposed, make no mistake about it, that's the gateway to, they can make you walking by with too much self-esteem and a cocky look on your face, walking around the street with a cocky look on your face, being proud of being straight. Whether you're black or white, you walk around being proud of being straight, walking around with too much self-esteem, and everything about the way you dress, cocky look on your face, and if you radiate everything about the way you dress, radiates the idea that you're proud of who you are and you don't care who these people are, even though you don't harass them for who they are. That can become an expanded interpretation of misgendering. The mentality of people that want to create laws like this, whether the law's for real or if it's in the works or if it's proposed, they literally want it to eventually expand it and say you don't take part in their marches, as in worship their flag. And if they want to have their flag, it's their difference, but 90% of these people, except for a few small groups that once they let me be what I want to be and leave me alone, I'm trying not to lump them all together and being fair, but the people that want their flag flying all over the place, oh, you're not allowed to have your flag, and you're not allowed to have pride. And when it becomes a thing where you're forbidden by them to have any pride in who you are, then that's when it becomes dictatorship and becomes tyrannical. People with inflated ego, Yeah, I'm laughing about it. Yeah, I'm trying not to laugh here. My YouTube ain't perfect. When I talk about this shit, I do try not to laugh. Yeah, inflated egos and the desire to control and to dictate, narcissism. That had narcissism written all over it. When you have the desire to make outrageous laws, whether the laws are real or not, or if they're just in the works. Just putting that out there so I don't get accused of being a conspiracy theorist. It doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist to know that there's people out there that have such desires to make such laws. So I kind of like to be fair by saying, oh, like I said, you're a conspiracy theorist just for having a cocky look on your face and snubbing a certain ideology that people want to force down your throat. If you refuse to have anybody else, if you want to, yeah, it's try not to laugh here. Yeah, if you refuse to have anybody else's values forced down your throat and you walk around with a cocky look on your face and shit like that, it's taken by these people as an act of defiance and rebellion, and where their narcissism comes into play here is they want to make a law and expand upon a law to punish you for literally walking around with a cocky look on your face and not wanting their wanting their values forced on you, that they desire to have forced on you. This is the work of people who are never satisfied. Revenge politics. They propose a law, whether it's real or not. They want it to be a reality, and they want to expand upon it. When a law like that gets in the books, it's for the purpose, like it said, they need to find a way to steal and extort more money off of people in the form of fines, so they can finance their lifestyles and their goofy programs, which these programs are also designed to people sitting in a room somewhere. Or how are we going to force the random Joe or Jane that walks around the street with a cocky look on his face, or his or her face, that won't comply and conform to their new normal, the way they want their world to be. You're not part of their world and you live separately. That's not tolerated by them. Tolerance to them is allowing them to control you, and you change every aspect of your personal life to suit them. That's what these people want. They expect you to take some piece of your personal life to put into their cause, and you're supposed to alter your personal life to suit them. And if you don't, they seek to punish you with fines. Use fines as a means to extort from you, which is very unconstitutional. These people despise a free country. Everything about them, anything about the people, the mentality of anybody who proposes such a law, whether the law is real or not, the fact that you even propose it, whether it's real or not, it shows in the kind of people that they are, that they hate a free country, and they want to extort money, and they want to control everybody in sight, punish everybody who's basically proud of being straight. You know what I mean? They want everybody to be the same. Now I'm going to cut it there because I have separate videos on what they regard as equality. Self-degrade. I want you to self-degrade and bring yourself down a notch. And every little thing about you, did you even walk around the street, they're triggered, you know, they want to change every aspect of your personal life, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm laughing at this. That's why I kind of screwed up in saying things in this video. Remind you once again, when I end this video, trying not to laugh. And yes, I'm laughing at these people, and they don't want you laughing at them. That is a violation that they'd like to fine you for and have you thrown in a cage for. But I think the people need to fight that in a higher court if anybody's proposing such a law, or if any law is for real. If it's not real and they want to make it a reality and it's proposed, fight that shit. It's so obvious when you want to find somebody excessively for something so petty. That literally screams hungry for revenue and hungry for control. No doubt.